Let's go ahead and with a thunderous round of applause, let's go ahead and invite Dr. Avinash and let's enjoy ourselves in this beautiful section. There you go, that's how it's done.
All right. Wow.
Over to you.
Thank you so much for the awesome introduction. At times I look at my own profile and say, who's this guy? Who is this person? Right. So, firstly, thank you so much for making it through the conference. I didn't mean it in a sarcastic way. But, really a pleasure and an honor to be here, right? So firstly, a big round of applause to the organization that have put this together. So Shiny and the team and Jaswant and all of that. And I really believe it was, an accident which this happened. And the book is also an accident which happened. All right, so let's see. So where do we begin? Anybody curious about animals in the room? Okay. A wildlife enthusiast. Yeah, unfortunately, or we don't have real animals in the room. Are you guys able to hear me? All right, great. Okay, so let's see. We'll do a quick intro so I can save a breath before I waste one, right? In terms of the book, if that's fine.
Change is hard, but does it need to be painful? What if there was a more intrinsically motivating and nourishing way to drive change? Hello, everyone. My name is Avinash Jungiani, and I'm the author of the book Play to Transform. Ever wondered how children intuitively know how to draw, build castles in the sand, or even role play their favorite superhero? Ever wondered how they instinctively know not to cut trees or differentiate between men and women? Well, we are all born creative geniuses, and empathizing with others comes naturally to us. But somewhere along the way, we've lost touch with these qualities. In the post pandemic world, leaders not only need to drive transformation while being more empathetic, resilient, collaborative, and agile, but now also have the added responsibility of building purpose driven organizations with well being, sustainability, diversity, and inclusion ingrained into their DNA. Drawing on real life cases, mindset shift strategies, and contemporary research from different disciplines, my playfully serious book encourages leaders to tap into their inner child. It demonstrates how play can be used as a powerful catalyst to accelerate change, find harmony in chaos, and rehumanize business with more heart and soul. So let's say cheers to your inner child and play away.
Yep. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So this workshop and this book and everything, all the work I do is dedicated from my inner child to your inner child. All right. I don't speak to you as an adult. I speak to you as a child who is wanting to thrive in uncertainty, embracing the chaos which we see in the world today. All right. So, how many of us in the room believe you believe are more creative than analytical? If you can raise your hands, you believe you're more creative than analytical. Yeah. So in this entire workshop, I don't have any intelligent questions in the typical definition of IQ. All right. So be yourself and be as comfortable as you can. So, and I can easily sense that energy, right? So if we can do this again, who believe are slightly more creative than analytical, right? And just raise your hands with a little bit of pride. I almost see like I don't know if I should say I'm creative or not. Okay, so we'll see about say almost 50% or maybe lesser. All right, and analytical. We have robots in the room because we have a few people who are neither analytical or creative. And ChatGPT and GPT and Gen AI has taken over humans now. All right, so the idea of doing this is definitely not to judge you. I don't do that at all. In fact, it's the opposite of that. It's to help you reflect on how you think, all right, and how you believe. Anyone recognize this beautiful piece of technology? So anybody has used this in the past 10 years? No, allow me to finish my question. In the past 10 years. Yes, as an icon. Yes, on the save button. Right? Eh, eh, I'm sorry? I'm also curious. And my kid horrifies the hell out of me almost like every day of my life, saying, why do you have this as artwork? So, we all returned from the US about a decade ago. You know, it's only after you move you have an opportunity to clean the junk from your trunk, right? So I had these floppy disks and I opened them up. I said, how do I explain this to my kid? And it's been a decade, but still I'm not able to give him a simple explanation of what do you do in a 120 KB device. I don't even have a floppy drive, so I can't even help him understand that. And he's like, Dad, data, right? Cloud. I'm like, no, there's no cloud up there where you have data, it's on the ground. So he gets even more confused and I lose him as a father. So I'm like, I'll just give up. I'll create artwork out of this. So on the day we both created artwork, he says, early humans, Dad. I'm like, okay, fine. Early humans technology. All right, so I'm going to skip this introduction because it doesn't matter. What matters is what we are going to do here. So as much as we say, like, I believe we've used the word transformation like a billion times in the past 2 days, right? So it's not about digital transformation. Neither it is a quirky account of Snapchat, Instagram. How many of you on Instagram here? Not judging, just asking. And how many of you on Snapchat? Yeah? Okay, great. Just getting a sense. Just getting a sense. You know, I can go into your LinkedIn profiles and check your so-called professional profiles, or I can have access to your minds, right? I would rather prefer the latter. This workshop is actually a tale of opportunity. It's an opportunity which is right below our eyes, but either we are in denial or we just ignore it because it's too scary to go there, all right, to be able to shift that kind of mindset. And I need a goodie for this slide because I remember the question which we've asked before, how do you build growth, innovation, omni-channel experience, human-centric experiences and CX and all of that. So it's my humble attempt to bring a lot of the things we've done in the past 2 days in one line. But what we need to understand, be a brand, retailer, any organization, that today you're expected to operate at the intersection of business, tech, and culture. Simply put. Now, it's easy to bring in. I know I'm saying this in a forum which is at tech. I can enable technology. I can also orchestrate business. It's required to do this today. But who's going to shift our mindset, right? A lot of that is the work that I do, and which is what we'll try and explore here. And the reason why, so I work with a number of clients, right, across industries, from the digital side, from the marketing side, from finance, HR. I have the opportunity to meet a lot of leaders. The biggest reason they say, and they also admit, that we have a problem, we have to shift the way our people think in the organization, right? Which is what is the big question here. So a question for you, to keep it a little more interactive. When we think of the word change, what's the first emotion which comes to our mind? Change. Pain? Exciting? Being adaptive? Feeling. Sorry? Fear? Discomfort? Feeling. I just love this because I have to push men, I'm sorry, but I have to do this, to just be a little more feeling, yaar, thoda emotion. Know the emotion, label the emotion. So imagine yourself during the pandemic. When it hit us, how did you feel in the beginning? I'm sorry? Curious. Wow. Okay. Inquisitive. Numb, scared, be honest, right? And it's not like, oh my God, I have disruptive growth in my business. Yeah. Emotion. Relief. Okay, great. Vulnerable. Whoa, heavy. So heavy that I got stuck right there. All right. Excited. How about we go back to the word called vulnerable? Help us understand what is this big, thick word, which is called vulnerable. Help us just understand like in simple words. Explain. Frail and fragile, so we think it's a weakness. Oh, it is not a weakness. Okay. Okay. But वो emotion नहीं है. वो एक हाँ, fear. Who will cook? Yan can cook, so man can cook. Okay. Feelings, emotions, anything else? Lonely, okay. Uncertain, thank you. Anything else? So no right or wrong answer, right? It's what your brain was feeling during that time. So go ahead and shut your eyes if you want and feel a little about that time. I'm sorry, I'm bringing back that horrible time. But the idea is to help you feel more. Any other emotion you felt? Concern, okay. Helpless. So if you look at a lot of the words emotions you threw at me, there were hardly anything on the plus side, right? So typically humans, all human brains, it is natural to operate in this fashion, right? Because the human brain wants to survive. It wants to survive. But a lot of my research has shown with the most effective leaders who've actually taken COVID as a opportunity to transform and build disruptive growth have actually used simply, I call it, play in the organization. And that play at what level, I'll help you understand. So is there a more intrinsically inspiring way to drive change? So how about we do a little bit of interaction? Every time we say work and play, we see that in the opposite directions, right? Is there a reason why we don't see work and play in the same? Fun, which one is not fun? Work is not fun. And why is that? Because, okay, work is fun. No, your personal point of view, generally speaking. Its targets are fun? Ah, okay. Okay. Okay, I appreciate that honesty. Your bosses are not in the room, right?
That's more like it.
Anything else? Its focus is diverted. A part of it. Okay. So, is the reason why it's in the opposite direction? It sounds like a trade-off, right? So go back to your childhood. Do you think it has anything to do with that as to what kind of conditioning you were? Sorry? Homework? Yes. So if we can have a mic here, please, because I want everyone to have a voice. So she's saying the education system sucks, right? I think it still does, but it's not my point of view here. So education system? No, so I just want your point of view on why it's opposite. There is no space for negativity in the room or debate. There's only space for your point of view, right? So opposite. A discipline is which one? Work. So it's good or bad? In, how about chess? How about other games? Okay, okay. Rules versus no rules. Very, very interesting. So which one is rules? I love this. So which one is rules?
No, but
Are, are you sure? It's always rules at work? Usually. A choice, okay. Yes. Yes.
I find more cerebral connection of positive nostalgia with play with childhood.
Yep. Yep.
Accidentally happened in life. We suddenly found we are no more on the playground.
Okay. It's an adulthood thing. Okay.
Sorry, I have the mic, so I'll just jump
It's
in.
process versus creativity. So no wrong and right answers, but the idea is to really clarify what your mind is telling you. You cannot play with your work. So simply put is what I'm hearing, right? Just to summarize, work is serious business, bro. Right? Work is serious business. You have targets, you have sales, all of that. If you want to play, please go to the playground. If you have another space to play, please don't. यहाँ आके time pass मत करो. All right? Anyone recognize what this picture is? Here's the only part where I have a right and wrong answer, and we did not learn this in any textbook, which is why I love using this. This is a sea urchin. Okay, good attempt. Anything else which comes to your mind? If you're going to save this country's population, you better be careful about what your mind is telling you. Huh? A jellyfish? It's plastic in the ocean. Why are we so just don't want to say the word? It's a condom? It's a condom? Okay. The right answer will be revealed very soon. But thank you for sharing. The whole idea was to express and feel that it's okay to say what's in our mind. This is a young sea squirt. This is a young sea squirt. The beauty about this animal is that it has the same anatomy of a human being. Okay, so it has a nervous system, it has a brain, etc. Any idea what this is? A coral? Anything else? A reef? A little bit louder if you don't mind. Because a sea cucumber, okay. So just moving on quickly, it's the same sea squirt on the previous slide, grown into an adult. This is the same sea squirt. It's become an adult, right? A little bit of a reflection. It attaches itself to a boat or a ship because it gets lazy. It gets thick, as I call it, a little more respectfully for the sea squirt. And it gets its nutrients on the way, so it need not move. Any idea what's the difference? Any idea what is missing between the young sea squirt and the old sea squirt? Not a biology lesson, just a simple quiz. Any idea? Brain, okay. So round of applause for this gentleman. Your name? Abhishek. I know you very well. मैं तो acting कर रहा हूँ. But brain. Heart is also not there. But I want to just focus on the brain. Where did the brain go? Any guesses? What happened to the brain when it became an adult? That's an AWW moment, yeah, hashtag. I wish life was like that. No, it did not, but good attempt. It actually ate up its own brain because it had no use for it. Did you say that? Yeah. Okay, great. So round of applause for sir over there, Mr. Akshay Slaria. All right, awesome. So here's the new saying by Stephen Hawking, in case you haven't heard. We don't have him anymore, but all work and no play. Yeah. And why is this important? Why do we need this now? We need this now because thanks to Gen AI, I've heard this word like God knows how many times in this conference. The future of job skills looks like this. There's nothing operational on this chart. Everything is creativity, curiosity, exploration, experimentation, and the future is human-AI collaboration. The question is, how are you going to be effective in collaborating with AI when you are not effective with collaborating with your own team members, as well as, right, and with yourself in the first place? And I'll help you understand what I mean by that, right? So AI will not replace humans, humans will AI, all right? Now here's the problem with humanity, and I just love this quote by this American biologist. So if you look at the evolution of humanity, or say the human brain, you have thoughts, you have feelings, and your behaviors. All right, anybody who's done human psychology or sciences knows this. Simple stuff. Here's what has changed. We are delivering or expected to deliver in the digital age with godlike technology, but our mindset hasn't changed. The way we think and the way we feel are still Stone Age. These are the same industrial age leaders who are now expected to deliver in the digital age without shifting their mindset. All right, so a few kind of mindset shifts that I would propose, and we will do this because we all talk about empathy, vulnerability, agility, divergent thinking. God knows how many of these words that the Americans are showering on us, and we are like, we need to do this. And the global guys are saying, empathy building, empathy. Now, what is this empathy and why do we need to do it? So quickly, I'll just walk you through this so you have a sense, right, at the back of your mind as we go into play. Stop thinking of your customer as a buyer. Your customer is a human with emotions, period. Working in silos is not going to work anymore. Co-creation is the way to go, right? Stop, if you're a leader and you're leading a team, let your guard down. Firstly, remove this suit, which I'm only wearing, but the whole idea was to remove it in front of you. So the idea is to literally, right, just remove your jackets, because this is what we've been told over and over again, that work is serious, quote unquote, be professional in the workplace. And in the garb of being professional, we lose ourselves. We forget who we are as humans, and then we only chase numbers, targets, rational logic, and thanks to our education system, as she said, right? So gone are the days of efficiency, because AI and all of that is around the corner. In fact, my entire previous lives were on the IT and tech and data side. Then I drew a line and I said, listen, first you need to shift mindset of humans so that we can accelerate digital transformation. Efficiency, the bots will do. We will do the creativity, right, which is what is required. Reliance on past data, we are seeing with startups and a lot of organizations, amongst yourselves, that we have to fail fast and forward in terms of experimentation. And lastly, I love, because after I moved to India after a decade, obviously I was in a shock, ki boss, such a beautiful country mein ye unstructured chaos, how does this work? I found my way in the past decade by embracing, or I would say finding harmony in that chaos. The Westerners are now looking up to us for innovation, which is why I would say embrace that DNA. Embrace that DNA, and we need to stop looking at the West. So simply put, because I'm a simple guy, I like to simplify work seriously to play seriously, right? Now play seriously, if you look at the word, it is almost an oxymoron, right? That how do you play, have fun, but how can you be serious about the outcomes, right? So I don't do L&D, simple L&D programs where we hold hands and do ringa ringa roses. I mean, I have a lot of respect for that stuff, but it doesn't improve collaboration. It doesn't really improve creativity when you go back to the workplace. It's a nice little, team cohesion exercise, but the key over here is play seriously, right? If you look at and all this is in the book as well, a lot of my research and my work with my clients have shown that there are 6 key leadership capabilities which are required if you want to be relevant in the post-pandemic era. And this we think we know, but until we don't do it, we do not really realize how much we suck at it or we are really, really good at it. So quickly, I'll just walk you through. So we said vulnerability there, a little bit of empathy and that ability to act on that empathy, which is called compassion. I call that the heartland. The headland is where we all are beautifully using. We've been born and brought up to overthink, analyze, which is great. So critical thinking is important, but let's bring creative thinking or divergent thinking. And the last one is the ability to improve co-creation or group dynamics through agility, right? Now we think we'll implement a platform in the organization and automatically everybody will collaborate, right? If you have, CIOs and CDOs in the room, you'll know it does not work. If I don't want to collaborate in this fashion, why will I collaborate on a platform? It's not going to work, right? So all this serious business with the last serious slide. Anybody aware of design thinking? So I can take a breath before. Anyone has heard of human-centric design or design thinking? Yeah? So, okay.
Human-centric design, which is like trying to define any business problem
Yep.
into a consumer-first statement,
Right.
so that you
Yeah.
And then rather than saying that this is the business problem,
Mm-hmm.
this is the consumer need, and hence this needs to be solved. Something like that.
Yeah, it's like that only. Now the beauty about design thinking process is that all those capabilities you saw on the previous slide, automatically and playfully you start learning and applying it at the same time if you apply this process. The key differentiator that we as a firm or the work that I do, we bring is this aspect of play. Because how can you solve complex problems for your consumers if you don't have that curiosity of that inner child, that ability to empathize, ask the right question? And we are having a discussion with a few people, I think yesterday, that this chat GPT has spoiled our kids. How many of us believe that chat GPT is the end of education and our kids are gone? How many of us have kids here in the first place? Everybody has, right? So anybody has a concern about chat GPT? Has spoiled us, okay. Ah, but spoiled why? Spoiled in a negative way or a good way? इतना डर डर के क्यों बोल रहे हो? You're not sure? Okay. So here's my simple take on it without giving too much yarn. All that is in the book. The ability to ask a well-articulated question, to frame the right question, is a lost art. We were never taught that in school. And here comes ChatGPT. What question you feed in, that's the answer. The quality of output is dependent on the quality of your question. So if you're not asking a well insightful question, you will never be able to get great ideas out of ChatGPT. So don't worry, it's not a concern. All right. What I would say is go back to yourself and ask yourselves, am I curious about my business, my industry? Where is it going, right? So a lot of that is empathy and define. A creative play is the fun part, and we'll do this today. And the constructive play is where we actually build with our hands, not digital devices, but first with our hands and work with humans. All right. So a lot of my research has shown that play is a universal language. In fact, I don't even need to articulate play. As an example, I'm sure you have kids. I'll give you a little anecdote. One day, obviously he was 4 years old, he's 14 now, and we were at a hospital. So, in the hospital, you have an area where you have a creche, you can just leave the kid and they have these slides and all of that you can do. So I was, being a dad and a parent, ki 4 saal ka bacha hai, right? Like, how can I just leave him? But the joy of going into a new environment like this and seamlessly interacting with kids who are from different social economic backgrounds, completely diverse, right? Just be able to work with them so fluidly and enjoying and all of that just made me reflect that he isn't even speaking so much, right? That energy I was seeing was so reflective. I said, why don't we have this in our own organizations? We are all saying collaboration, co-creation, empathy, all of that. But we are born with these skills, right? So what happened along the way? Anyone has played this when you were kids? Yeah, proudly hopscotch. How about this? It brings back some memories. How about this one? Pittu. Yeah. So usually if it's a longer workshop, I bring this and then we play and all outside, again with a serious outcome. But the idea is that how did you feel when you played these games which are so offline in nature? The emotion which you got. Anything? Any memory of that? Excited? Happiness? Competitiveness? Okay. Sorry? Joy? Making the team win? Cheering, shouting, feeling, guys, feelings. There are 168 emotions on the feeling chart. Coordination, feeling. Sorry? Freedom. I can do whatever I want. Remember this? Playing in the mud in case we haven't. Too sophisticated. And, in our kids' case, what do? We tell them, Arey, lag jayega, and all of that, right? So play, if you ask me, and all research I've done, I've done my doctorate fortunately on play, where I've researched Dutch historian. There's this guy individual called Johann Huizinga, who is actually credited with defining play. And within the definition of play, he admits that it's impossible to define. It can only be experienced. And it's been 100 years that the definition of play has been enhanced, but there's nobody till now who has been able to, play so broad that you can't put it into a line. It can only be experienced. So let's play and experience what it is. So how about we do this, if you don't mind? And firstly, anybody heard of the word mindfulness? Just asking. Simply, what is mindfulness? Simple. Yeah, go ahead. Be present, right? So if you're if you're raising your hand and asking me a question, we have a problem there. So I would say it's okay. Just express. This is not a classroom. So how about we do a simple exercise, if you don't mind. Let's, it's a little bit of a breath work exercise because I want to make sure everybody's energy level is pretty much at the same level. Is that fine? So if you don't mind, we'll turn ourselves and face the table. And once you do that, just make sure the area in front of you is clean. Guys, if you're on a table with 2 people, 3, you have to make sure you have 6 people in your team. 6 people. So move into a team which has less than 6. So 6 is something we want to go with. And feel relaxed, feel comfortable while I take you on a beautiful journey. Yeah? We'll do a time check if you don't mind. 1:26. Okay. All right. So is everyone with me? Is that fine? So we'll keep our palms open on the table, right? And move up as much as possible. So you are in a straight backed, comfortable kind of position, feeling relaxed. Yeah? Yeah? If you have a question, I am here, your facilitator. So you can ask me if you have a question. It's very simple. If you have 2 hands, that's fine. If you have 1, even that is fine. And it's perfectly okay. All right. The idea is to now slowly shut your eyes. Yeah. Just slowly shut your eyes and move your attention to your breath. Your breath. Notice how your breath is flowing in and out. You may have thoughts out there, which is fine. Treat them as clouds in the sky. They will go away on their own. But bring your focus to your breath. If you are not there yet, just take a deep breath and just let go naturally. Now slowly bring your attention to the bindi area, that is the area between your eyebrows. And stay there for a second. Now let's use our breath to carry that bindi, that light between your eyebrows, to a point in time in your childhood. So flashback gradually into a moment or experience in your childhood that you loved, your favorite moment as a child, that gave you immense joy happiness, that freedom that is so personal to you, so intimate, that you will treasure forever. Once you're there, look at the surroundings in your mind. Who are the people, the things, the environment around you in that experience? Deeply immerse yourself into the little details in that moment of time. Not just with your thoughts, but now also with your heart. Let feelings from that experience emerge naturally. Recognize them. Appreciate them. Be grateful in your mind for that experience that brought you so much purity in emotion, so much fresh energy that you will always cherish. Nobody can take that away from you. Be in that moment for a little more time. Immerse yourself deeply into that experience. Now let's slowly and very gradually, no jerks, come back from that moment into the present. Bring that bindi you had taken back to the present and place it where it belongs. Now move your attention to your breath. Notice the inhale and the exhale. Let's take a deep breath and let it out naturally. Now slowly, without any jerks, tickle your fingers, move your fingers, and slowly open your eyes. With a feeling of gratitude, appreciation for who you are today, and what the world has given you today. And relax your shoulders a little and take a seat back and take a deep breath. Be calm, stay in that zone for a bit. Okay, anyone care to share how you're feeling? Looks brighter, okay? Lighter, feeling emotional. A breath is now. Thank you for saying that. I was a boy with a chronic stammer for 30 years of my life. These are the exercises which help me become more fluent, gave me self-worth, gave me self-belief. Just sharing my personal. How do you feel after this? Anyone? Calm? No need to talk, right? It is what it is. It is so personal. Nobody can take that away from me. That I would say is your secret energy. Anytime you're in a crisis or you have a situation where you don't have clear answers, I would encourage you to do this exercise. It's beautiful how the right, wrong, left, right, all this magically disappears and you'll see the path. Encourage you to do this exercise 15 minutes before you sleep. You'll start every day as if you're a newborn baby. Try it for 21 days and ping me on LinkedIn. Let me know how you feel. Okay. The reason I'm showing you this, don't go by the numbers, just go by the emotional state. A lot of us bring different energy levels into our workplace, right? You don't go into a workplace, generally speaking, pumped up. I'm creative, any challenge comes, come hail, snow, COVID, anything, I'll conquer it. You generally, as we said, work is seen as serious. You don't see it unless you haven't really built it out, right, on your own. So the idea is if you do this exercise, we all move up our energy level to a state of neutrality in that area, okay? What play does is what we are going to do now is, when you're going to attack a problem or you have a crisis or a situation, you know, my mom, she told me in my early age, snap out of it, beta. Snap out of it cannot happen to humans. It's not even possible. You have to ride the energy system. You have to feel bad about it. You have to admit, label how you're feeling, bring up your energy level, and then go and solve the problem. Okay, so it's important to admit that we are not robots. Okay, robots can snap out of it, humans can't. The idea is to operate in that empowering state of mind in that workplace. So how do we do this? Quickly, we go to a spa to release our knots. Who's going to release the knots in your mind? All the stress you feel ultimately translate into some kind of physical problem. We've all seen that now. It's no big news. But the reason why I'm doing this is to help you understand. It starts with the way you think. If you're not resetting yourself every day with the right kind of energy, these knots will only multiply. And then when you want creativity, innovation, that ability to co-create, ego, status, level, designation will always overpower that because of the knots in your own mind, insecurity. So enough of Gyan, and it's time to do a playful activity. Now obviously there are a lot of stuff that I have discussed, but we are just going to look at something which I call growth within constraints. Isn't that the workplace? It's not like we have a playground, we can just go and play and do anything we want, right? So here's what we will do. Let's see. Okay, so I would request angels descend from the skies and distribute the goods, but we have angels within us today. So if you don't mind, and ma'am, do not open this bag, just keep it at the center of this table. All right, and I'll tell you what you have to do. Anyone remember playing with bricks or some blocks when you were a kid? Right? The moment I say bricks, I see smiles on your faces. Right? It's just magical what our mind tells us the moment I even use the word play. All right? So goal, everybody has one bag on the table. Please don't open it yet. No cheating. Okay. So any table out there that doesn't have a bag, just raise your hands. You don't have? We can have one given to them. I would have loved if you just moved up so I don't have to move too much. I would request if you guys are sitting isolated, please adopt them if you have some space. So who wants Mr. Handsome guy? And who wants the guy in the suit and the jacket and the USPA? So go for it. All right. Okay, so here's what we'll do, and we'll have some background music while we are playing because it's all about the experience. Omni-channel experience. A different take on omni-channel, right? It's just not here, it's in the kit, it's in the sensory, and we have chocolates too. So we'll do that in a bit so that all your senses get alive, right? Experience is all about senses. I would say just forget chai, pani, all of this, just forget it. Because now the activity we are going to do, after I give the cue, you can play the music. That will not give you an opportunity to drink or eat anything except each other's brains. All right, so the goal of this challenge is to build the tallest, please don't start yet, on my go, all right, tallest freestanding tower with the contents in that bag. All right, don't use the bag, only the contents in that bag. I don't know what the contents are because I'm an alien and I don't know what bricks are. The idea is you will see there is a flag. You can't open it yet. You can't even touch the bag yet because I'll pull out my imaginary wand and whack you. So here's the deal, right? Like I'm a very nasty facilitator if you don't follow my rules. But then it's okay. There is a flag which you will discover in that bag. You need to place the flag on the top of the tower once you're done building the tower. I will use this scotch tape, this measuring tape, not a scotch. Guys, if you're not listening to the instruction, I'm not going to repeat it. Disqualified. I'm going to use this tape and I'm going to measure. Guys, please pay attention from the table till that flag. So if your flag is on the ground, 0 millimeters. Right? It's going to be a perpendicular, you know, a right angle, yeah, which I will drop with this tape and we will do that, all right? Now, it's not as simple as you think it is. Anybody can build a tower, right? This is going to challenge your co-creation skills, your empathy skills, your vulnerability skills, your agility skills, and your ability to communicate with a little bit of heart, all right? And here's the deal. Are you guys with me? Yeah? All right. So let's start. There are 4 rule variations. I'll tell you. Hold on. Start matlab nahi, go nahi. Go is the word. Go is the word. Let's start paying attention to the variations. There are 4 rule variations. I'm going to give you the variation and you will start building. The variation changes. That means the constraint changes. So growth with constraints. It's not like go ahead and start building with your team. All right, so are we ready? Are we ready to go? So here's, as I said, there are going to be 4 rounds. They'll be timed. I have a stopwatch, and when I say stop, all hands off the table. All right, and you'll have to just let things be on the table as they are. Smartphones, all of that, I would say just keep it inside because your team will be very disappointed if you don't contribute. All right, so 4 timed rounds. At the end of every timed round, you will get your hands off the table. I'll introduce the next variation and you will start building again. But the overall final objective is the same. Build the tallest freestanding tower with the flag on the top at the end of the 4 variations. Is that fine? Any questions? Yes. It is the way it is. No, your flag has to be put at the end. Once you're done building. Okay. And you can always place it on the top. I'll not measure then. At the end of the 4 rounds, I'm going to measure. So you can keep placing the flag as many times as you want during the variation. It's not going to matter. Guys, don't open the... Is there a reason you have this big wall in front of me so I don't see what you're hiding? No, it's okay. I'm just joking. All right, so are we ready? All right. Are you ready? Yes. Yep, nice. Okay, round 1, you are allowed to discuss, but you cannot open the bag. You have 1 minute to do that. You cannot open the bag. If you open it, you will get disqualified. Put it back quickly before Discuss your build strategy. Your build strategy. You can have a look at the bag, but you can't open it. Yeah, your team will get disqualified. You should join some team. No, so go. No, go ahead. It's okay. We have 7 also here. Yeah. Go ahead. Please close the bag. Another 20 seconds. Yes, you can touch the bag. You can't open the bag. Okay, we can play some music a little bit. No opening the zip, guys. No opening the zip. No. You can't open the bag, but you can discuss. All right. Okay, hands off the table. Your time is up. Hands off, guys. Hands off the table. No discussion. Stop, please. I'm not going to scream. Hands off the table. Off the table. Off means off the table. Don't touch the table. All right. So round 1 was that. Round 2, start building but no talking. I want pin drop silence. Music off. If you talk, you're done. You're disqualified. No talking, start building. So open the bag if you want and start. You have 2 minutes. Yep, sorry. Yep, go, man. Go. My God. Cheating करते हैं यार लोग. No talking, only building. Just music a little low. You guys are talking, right? You can start building because the overall objective is to build the tallest tower with the flag on the top. We'll have 2 more variations after this. 2 more variations. So build but don't discuss and don't talk. I will now literally disqualify because I know now who's talking. Sign language use करना ठीक है, but no vocal skills over here. ये सांसों से बात कर रहा है, ऐसा ये सब नहीं करना है, bro. What is this? How much time left? Okay, so we have another half a minute. Okay, let's take a seat. Hands off the table. Leave everything as it is. Drop it. Just drop whatever's in your hands and the tower. I know it might fall. That's fine. Please take a seat. Hands off the table, please. Otherwise, we will disqualify you. Let the tower be. Sit down. If it falls, it's okay. We have 2 more rounds of building. Don't worry about it. Okay. Round 3, guys. Round 3. Round 3. All right. Now you can talk and build, but one hand has to be at the back. You cannot use both your hands. You can talk and build, continue building, but you cannot use both your hands. You cannot use, the hands have to be at the back. One hand has to be at the back. One hand at the back. आप disqualify हो गए bro. अब आप नहीं participate कर सकते. ठीक है कर दो. But एक हाथ से कर. Guys, only one hand. I think in this round, you need to stop. You won't be able to participate. Otherwise, I'll disqualify your whole team. Don't break the rules, guys, because the whole learning out of this will go away if you break the rules, right? One hand at the back, please, and do it honestly. Ma'am, if you don't mind, you'll have to take a seat and don't participate in this round because you clearly did not follow. बैठ जाओ आप. Cheating में कोई मजा नहीं है यार. We have to go. go back and look in the mirror, right? Like you don't want the wrong image of yourself. All right, let's do another 15 seconds. 15 seconds. One hand only, please. Hand at the back. One hand has to be at the back. You cannot use it to even point. So you'll have to take a seat because you use both. Yeah. It has to be at the back. You'll have to take a seat. So if you don't mind, you can't do this. Your hand had to be at the back. All right. Okay, guys, hands off the table. Leave the tower as it is. It's okay. I know how you're feeling. It might fall, and that's perfectly okay. That's life, bro. We put on all our effort, but when shit hits the roof, hands off the table. Hands off the beep table. Oh my God, take your seats, guys. Otherwise, I'll start my Durga Ma wala dance. Ah! Take your seats. You don't want me as your boss. Hey guys, take your seats. Leave your towers. We have one more round. We have one more round. One more round. All right? One more round to go. One more round to go. Guys, you have your attention? Okay, last round. Are we ready for the last variation? This is my best variation. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. You have 1 minute. Make sure the flag is on the top of the tower because that will be qualified as your height. Your height will be from the flag to the table. The flag to the table. I hope everybody's found the flag. Right. And when I say hands off, they have to be off. You have another 35 seconds. 35 seconds. Make sure it's a freestanding tower with the flag on the top because this baby is going to measure the tower. Sir. But ultimately in this, you have to last 1 minute and everything you did before doesn't matter. Because now it's all speed. Almost done. Okay, आपको सबको बैठना पड़ेगा. Okay, I have just hired my bodyguard who's going to make you all sit down now. Another 5 seconds, guys. 5 seconds. Place your flags on the table. Place your flags on the table. Okay. Very nice. A round of applause for you guys. Awesome job. Yes. Everybody take your seats. Let your tower be. Let it stand with the flag on the top. This team is disqualified. Thank you so much. You just saved my gifts and the probability of others winning. You just increase that. Okay, okay, okay. How about we take our seats so we can all see each other's towers? Is that fine? A little more courtesy. So a little more courtesy so everybody can see each other's towers. Please take your seats quickly. We are almost out of time. We need to wrap this up. Will you be able to see which one is the is the tallest? Yeah. So go ahead and go ahead and measure. Okay. So I have one of my angels who's going to walk up and measure the tallest tower. Please let him do that. It has to be on the top, from the top to the table. From the top to the table. This is very Instagram worthy, so please take pictures.
71, 76.
Let's see, let's see. Leave it, leave it, leave it, leave it, leave it. It's okay, you can pick it up. Good, good attempt.
76 times.
Exact 76, yes, both. Will you go back and check again?
Their power went down.
हाँ?
Just now.
या अपने आप गिर गया हाँ, अपने आप
Now, जब मैं नाप रहा था, तो कुछ very fast.
अच्छा
They are
इनका
72.
no no who's the other 76 so check them again okay round of applause for everyone guys thank you so much please give yourselves a round of applause for doing this okay take your seats please take your seats and let's because it's probably lower than the rest if you want to be measured we can always no you're probably because it's दिखता है it's और कुछ नहीं कुछ भी आप जरा वहां जाके भी देख लो please you guys are going to get this all right okay give yourself a round of applause please give yourselves a round of applause and before we go into the you're all winners but there is a winner although we are all winners and we all tried, which is why I think we should give ourselves another round of applause. It's very important. So personally, I thank each one of you to put yourself into the game. Accept the constraints which were given to you because life is such, you don't ever get a free playground to do whatever you feel like doing. But the idea is to see at the end of the day. I typically don't announce a winner, but I thought it'll be nice to give away my books for free. So we have a winner and who's the winner? Which team is the winner? Great. That's not my problem. No, so here's what I would say. Split it up. Split it up into two. Yeah. You have more books in the bag, right? Achha. So, all right. So, here's what we'll do. We'll give out the gifts in a bit. All right. I think it was 76. I think two. Yeah. So, a round of applause for that team and the team at the back. Good job, guys. Good job. Thank you so much. All right, so we'll do a quick takeaway as to what we did here. All right, anyone wants to share, and we'll go with the shortest tower first. So proudly, who's the shortest tower? Okay, help us understand your journey in the process of building. Where exactly you went a little slow, maybe, or you thought you had it right. Any observations? Okay, you used all the bricks? Okay, so bricks chhod do. I'm talking about group dynamics. Achhe the. Okay.
This could have been a bit more,
Okay.
a bit more planning in advance.
A little more planning. We're so scared of even sharing anything about each other. But thanks for doing that, right? At least sharing. Okay, go ahead with this team. Any plan or strategy you had in place right from the beginning that helped you build the towers, the highest tower? We asked ourselves, how do? Okay. Anything else? You guys?
Distributed the task among us. We
Right.
filled in between, but everyone chipped in and everyone was looking at how do we contribute. So
Absolutely. Okay. Guys, the whole idea of doing this workshop is to learn from each other. and have fun, of course. We have what? Cute. But it doesn't meet the objective. All right, so I'm just going to wrap a few key takeaways if anyone even cares to hear about what this means. All right, so the whole idea was to let your guard down and collaborate. I was observing each team's group dynamics. So a lot of you decide क्या करना है. तू कर ले, Gen Z है, चल you. And the millennials are like. By the third round, everybody was like, screw all the strategies in the world. We just need to build now, right? Just build. All right. So the whole idea is that this divide and rule and this level designation and generational differences, we need to be aware of this. Because a lot of the times, we think we are giving others the opportunity. Hai na? What we don't realize is it's your insecurity speaking. You dare show your vulnerable side because what will the other person think? Right? And that ultimately hurts us. So the idea is to connect as humans. Age doesn't matter, designation, etc., hierarchies don't matter. Best practices, right? Anybody used his architecture science skills while building? Raise your hands. It's not falling. So he's very proud about that, and which is great. And which is why maybe you didn't reach there also, right? क्योंकि ये ओवर एनालिसिस का प्रॉब्लम यही है that it reduces your growth. Yeah. And then सुंदर दिखना चाहिए. Okay. चलेगा. Awesome. And the last one is, I just love this because here's where we say, do you want to survive or do you want to thrive? Do you see a challenge as an opportunity or do you see a challenge to just work around? So the whole idea is anti-fragility. So with that, I'm just going to wrap up with this little slide, and a lot of this exercises, concepts, which we've been discussing is also in the book. But here's what my research has shown, just working with leaders across organizations, be the most so-called structured organizations like, or perceived to be like the Amazons and and also the ones which are brick and mortar, the Reliances and the other kind of companies. There is a problem overall at the leadership level, and it's not a problem, I would say. It requires help, and it's not going to happen by one person from the top or anyone below. We have to be able to work together and understand to thrive in uncertainty, to embrace this chaos. We need a culture that looks something like this, right? This is very different from what we used to talk about in terms of culture, say 6 years ago. All this has changed thanks to the pandemic, right? Well-being on the face, agility was there before, but it's now become human agility. It's not just business agility, right? Like wellness and all of that. So with that, thank you so much again for being yourself and being a little more out there and doing this little activity. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you. And I'm happy to answer any questions, anything at all if you have overall regarding transformation from a human side. Of course, the books are also there outside if you ever want to grab a copy. That's if you didn't get it as a free gift, of course.
Thank you so much, Dr. Avinash. This is from our side.
Thank you.
And yes, if there are any further questions, please do connect with Dr. Avinash. I think it was beautiful. Truly, we could see all of them come up with their inner child, and I think put that over here in the activity. So thank you so much once again. A huge round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Avinash, and we hope you get the opportunity to read the book and apply that as well. Thank you so much once again for joining us. Well, I hope you all had